Everyone aware that there is a vacancy and there's going to be a primary election next month for the Assembly? Okay. So I'm here to ask you to support my candidate, someone who I believe is going to really hit the ground running, and I'll tell you why. My candidate, by the way, is Glenn Yost. Glenn Yost is an attorney here on Staten Island, but he's also a retired detective for the NYPD. He did 500 buy and bust. He volunteered to go undercover to get 500 drug dealers off our streets during that time. And perhaps what has prepared him most to join us in Albany is that he is the counsel, which means attorney, that advises Senator Andrew Lanza, who we all know and love, right? So Senator Lanza and I, who are your representatives in Albany, we want Glenn Yost to join us and be a part of our team. We need to make sure that we all work together on the same message to fight to try to finally get reforms for our property tax system. In fact, Glenn and I are going to be making an announcement later this week regarding our plan and the bill that we're going to be introducing in January as we continue to push Mayor de Blasio to do the right thing. You know that I'm somebody who's not afraid to stand up to Governor Cuomo, to Shelley Silver, to Bill de Blasio. And I know Glenn is not afraid either. So I think we're going to be a dynamic duo in the Assembly. I don't really come here with candidates, you know that. I don't come here and bring candidates every single year. I'm coming here today because this is a race that's important to me, it's important to Senator Lanza, and I think it's important to the people of Staten Island. So I ask you to please, talk to Glenn, get to know him, ask him questions, get him the information you need before September 13th, which is the primary. Some of you may be voting by absentee ballot. Did you vote already? Anybody by absentee? Or okay, so we're all going to be going to the polls on September 13th. So I'm going to let Glenn just say a few words about himself, and then we'll walk around to answer any questions.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you, folks? Thank you so much. I am so pleased to have Nicole's endorsement. It's so important to have the right people behind my candidacy, and Nicole's been doing so much for our community. She ran for mayor. Let's hear it for Nicole Malliotakis. I have to tell you, I have the utmost respect for this lady. I've seen her in Albany. She fights for this community like you cannot believe. If you ever just watch YouTube and click on Nicole's name, you'll see her in action. But anyway, I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. My father had left home when we were very, very young, and we went through some difficult times. And while I like to tell you about my career, I also want to tell you about my background and why I'm here. The thing is, I feel the need to give back to my community. I always have. When I was 20 years old, I became a police officer for that specific reason. I spent 20 years in the police department. Every mission, every assignment, every command I went to, I worked hard. And that's why I was elevated from the rank of police officer to third grade detective, to second grade detective, to the prestigious rank of first grade detective. I was one of the youngest in the history of the police department. I was a deep undercover. Thank you. I infiltrated drug cartels. My name was taken off the rolls of the police department. I had an undercover apartment and a fictitious name. And I purchased kilos of cocaine, bundles of heroin, and I'm going to tell you, I don't forget those days. And when people like Mayor de Blasio want to put a clean injection site so that heroin drug users can go to a city facility in a trailer and shoot up heroin, I can tell you, folks, I am not going to allow that. I want better funding for the police department here. We need more undercovers. We need a better squad out here to take care of, I should say, a better funded squad to take care of the heroin and opioid problem we have here. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I am not easily intimidated. I put criminals away my entire life. And I want to make every drug dealer on Staten Island feel very, very uncomfortable. Okay? I'm working with Senator Lanza, and I hope to be working with Nicole Malliotakis. I want to do things for Staten Island. As Nicole points out, I'm an attorney. I have a law firm. The reason I'm doing this, folks, is because I have 5 children and a wife. We live in Tottenville. I care about you. I care about your community. I care about my seniors. I was raised by my grandmother. I wish that she was here today, but she taught me some great things that we need to always get from you. That in this country, you can do anything you want to do as long as you're willing to work hard and get an education. Am I right? And so we need your voice to make sure that young people know that today too, because I really believe in that. And as I say, coming from a single mother, to stand here before you today with someone like Nicole Malliotakis and to tell you out loud that I am running for the New York State Assembly, I am very, very proud and very, very lucky because I'm probably statistically not supposed to be here. But I worked hard. I listened to my grandmother most of all. And she taught me to work hard. And I'll tell you, she wouldn't borrow a glass of milk from a neighbor if we were starving to death. My grandmother worked very, very hard and always taught me to have a good work ethic. And that I took on to the police department. I take on to my law firm. I take care of my clients. And I'm going to take care of you in our community. But I need your help. I need your vote on September 13th, folks. It was so nice meeting you. Thank you.